Hey, welcome back to another episode from Life of Living Well. My name is Richard. Before I dive into the topic that I have for us this week, I do like to say if you would like to know one or two things that this community do, you can check it out on our website at www.lifeoflivingwell.com. If you also like to follow us from the article that we publish every week, please sign up on the website with your email and you'll be one of the first sign up member that receive an article weekly regarding each of the podcasts that we publish out as well. Thank you for your support. Thank you for follow the community, and thank you for the inspirational feedback that we get sometimes regarding some of our podcasts and articles. Let's dive into it without taking much of your time. We are still in the week of using travel as a tools to develop ourselves, to have fun, to experience life in a more deeper way. And I hope that this particular topic, this particular country that will be covered as well, we do the justice as well. So this week we're looking at France. 5 things being France will teach you. As we normally do, for those who are joining us for the first time or listening to this podcast for the first time, we normally take one inspirational quote and use it as an open statement and then build our message around it. So for this particular topic, I will be taking from Edward Hopper, and this is how he summarized his own experience of France, especially Paris, and the French people generally. And this is how he put it. I do not believe there's another city on earth so beautiful as Paris. None other people with such an appreciation of the beauty as the French. So especially when you visit Paris, and you take a time to travel through the metro, and you take a time to visit some of the public parks and the museums, you have to wonder that what is it that shaped the nation to present this kind of architecture, what influenced it, and how much time and attention put into beauty. And I say to you that beauty itself is a universal energy that you connect to it regardless where you are. Maybe you are in Sri Lanka and you connect to the nature or the landscape and it took your breath away. So, like many of my travels, this one requires covering the basic. And what are the basics that I normally focus on when I plan to travel like this? Number one is to focus on planning. And that planning what is my intentions when I visit the place. And then think about the travel insurance that is cost effective and that is covered from insurance, safety, and flights. And then I also look into the accommodations, where I want to stay. Do I want to stay in Airbnb or do I want to stay in hotel? And what are the navigation to the hotel from the metro or from the walking distance to the museum? And of course, experience the essence of the country. France was a trip that, for some reason, I procrastinated on for a long time. Partly because of its proximity to the United Kingdom, and also due to unfiltered feedback from some travelers who say that people wouldn't help if you didn't speak French. But from my own personal experience, when I arrived at Charles de Gaulle Airport, that notion began to fade away. By the time I reached out to two airport workers, one directed me to the ticketing port, and the other kindly took the time to explain the transport options into Paris itself. So, from the outside, France may seem like a typical European nation, but there is so much that makes it unique. Much of it is, I think, it's rooted in its rich imperial history, visible in its architecture and the layout of public parks. So being in France teaches you about the value of food, the power of language, a deep-rooted culture of art and literature. Most especially, the significance of family and the uniquely French work ethics. You will also come to understand the meaning of the national motto, which is liberté, égalité, fraternité, and simply means in English liberty, equality, and fraternity. These values, I think, deeply embedded in French identity. So sometimes we focus so much on people, words, actions, without really bother to find out what is behind those actions, what motivates them. Is it come from the just ego, or is it come from their conviction or values? Sometimes people that have an idea, they will become like radical because they are living and embedding with those ideas. So, what 5 things that the France will teach you? Number 1, take your time and enjoy the moment. If you're rushing, you will mix the things that I'm listening to you. You will get easily frustrated. So in France, meals are not rushed. I remember that went to this cathedral, and I really want to have a breakfast at around 9:30 a.m. And I have to wait for around 40 minutes because they were taking the time. So I got my coffee, but I was still waiting for my cousin. And I have to wait for around 30 minutes before the actual breakfast serve. So meals are not rushed, and neither should you be. Whether you are sipping coffee at a sidewalk cafe or strolling through a museum, you will learn to slow down and savor life. So if you are grabbing breakfast at a nearby cafe, you might find yourself waiting a bit. Use the time to enjoy the conversation with a companion, or simply embrace the quiet moment if you are alone. This same mindset applies to museum visits and even daily walks. Life unfolds slowly. And number two thing that I pick up a lot, even watching people, is none, which is a powerful tool. Many people struggle with the word no because they overly focus on the consequences of saying that. You can be cut off. You can be gang against. You can be seen as a bad person just by the other's perspective. So the French are unapologetically direct. Saying no isn't rude. It is an honest way of setting boundaries. So in France, people are clear about what they want and don't want. And that clarity removes ambiguity. If you struggle with saying no, you will find this cultural trait refreshingly liberating. So probably they were all raised from the child to be able to set a boundary, differentiate yourself from others, and able to know what you can take and what you cannot take. You'll be surprised how many adults still struggle with the concept of saying no, especially if you are coming from a culture where enmeshment and entitlement were encouraged. So when you try to liberate yourself with that, in an adult, you will find a lot of fight back of the others because it's alien to them. At work, are you taking more than you should just because you want to please or you don't want people to see you in a bad light? You're not setting the boundary. So at the end, you burn yourself out of it. Another thing that I pick up in France is the style is so simple. The simplicity of their style. French style is effortless. You will notice it not about extravagance, but about looking polished with minimal force. What did I mean by this? Is you see someone on a motorbike or on a bicycle or even walking on the street, a scarf, a well-cut coat, a good attitude, the way they carry it, the way they walk with it. That's all you need. You don't have to pack your whole wardrobe. Just what makes you feel chic and comfortable. And that takes me to number 4 as I'm coming toward the end of this podcast. So the number 14 that I noticed in France is language is poetry. It seems like these people genuinely speak from their hearts, not from their head. Because when you speak from your heart, you connect more to your deep root of your passions. And that energy that brings the word out is not only just the word that comes out from your mouth, it's also using your body as an expression of it. It's totally different from English. English language could make you a little bit colder because it's coming from your head. You're processing what you're trying to say. And it doesn't really connect, in my view, it doesn't mean right. In my own opinion, in my own observation, that is coming more from your head rather from your heart. And that's why it's always classified as a business language. Because with business, you cannot be all emotions alone. You have to be logical and rational most of the time for me. But with the French language, it becomes very poetry. Even if you don't speak French fluently, hearing it spoken around you will feel like stepping into painting. There is a rhythms and beauties in the way the French converse. You will begin to recognize the musicality of the language, like hearing live in full color. So when I was writing this down, I was looking for the right word to put for it. I love to watch people as I love to watch birds on the sky. I also love to watch swan when I walk around the lake, canal. I love to watch nature, and we as a people are part of the nature. And there's few languages like that people spoke from their hearts, and they justify moving their body to express it. Some language sound very aggressive, and you thought that the person is really angry with you. But if you are not familiarize yourself with that culture, you will misunderstand the beauty of those language. And that takes us to the last on my list. Number 5, indulgence is a lifestyle. This particular one, if it is in Britain, they probably classify it as lazy because of British work ethics is quite different from the French. And it's quite different from the German as well. Should we talk about croissant, cheese, wine? You wanted to know what all these three have in common. These are not the things you can rush. You can pick your cheese and you want to feel the taste. You want to smell the beauty. You want to take your time to ingest it. Indulgence is not seen as excess in France. Actually, it is a way of life. It's part of their life or culture. Whether you are enjoying a lazy afternoon nap, a rich meal, or a slow stroll through the charming streets, you will realize that these moments are meant to be savored. There's no guilty in pleasure, only joy. So the outcome of all this indulgence is the joy the person or the country or the society is actually after. So what are you doing to create your own joy? So finally, if you are searching for a self-care experience, France can absolutely deliver. Walking through the streets, taking in the architecture, soaking up the scenery can awaken a sense of inner peace and joy. It is the kind of experience you will reflect on years later with a smile. Travel is a tool for growth, for fun, for understanding of what? Of ourselves and of the world that we share with others. So, my friend, what are you waiting for? That's a question I pose to you. If you haven't visited France, choose a city, choose a town you want. If you have a lot of time, go to other places in France, Toulouse, There are many other beauty places that you can see in France. But if you really have a short time, let's say you have 5 days, Paris is not enough for you to excavate that 5 days. But you have a wonderful experience. I hope this message helps someone. Remember, the purpose of this podcast, looking at the travel, is to develop ourselves, is to see it as one of the tools that are available to us. Like a car, like a bus, is a tools for transport, to moving from one place to another. Money is a tool as an option to buy an option for us, to pay our bills. We should never use it to define who we are, just because how much of it we have or how much of it we do not have. The same thing with travel. It should not be a badge to say this is the number of places that I've been. We should use it intentionally, purposely, for self-development, as a tool to develop ourselves. Because the more you expose yourself to multiple perspectives, the better your choices will become. You cannot stay in one small place and you think in your mind that the whole world is just the way you think about it. You have to experience it. You only have a one life. Experience it. Use it to have fun. Enjoy yourself. Relax. Embrace that new culture. It will unleash you and increase your confidence, self-esteem, empowerment, even to a point, enlightenment. I hope this message helps someone that listens to it today. May your day and week be blessed, loving, kind. Until we have the opportunity to meet again, as we continue with this topic of traveling. We still have 2 or 3 more countries to cover, and then the particular episode of travel as a tool will come to the end. Please share our podcast with your friends, family, that you think the message we have impact or something that they would like to listen to. Also, please sign up to our community article that we release every week. It will allow us to grow as a community, and it also allows us to become better in what we are doing. Your feedback is very helpful for us to continue to improve in ourselves and our piece of work. Thank you for your time. Until we meet again, have a wonderful week and ciao.